Day for Texas's heated Senate primary runoff as incumbent U.S. Senator John Cornyn and Trump-endorsed State Attorney General Ken Paxton battle for the seat. But Paxton tells us he's not worried about receiving President Trump's endorsement after receiving it.
With the endorsement, it becomes a lot clearer that I'm going to be the nominee, and we wanted to focus on the positive and then focus on our next job, which is take down this Democrat who has the most radical views that maybe I've ever seen. I think we can all agree we got to beat this guy, and we got to protect the Republican Senate.
Paxton going on to push back on his opponent's claim that he won't be able to win the primary, saying he's already won 3 state races in a row.
Tuesday for the Texas GOP Senate primary runoff.
We have a great candidate, I believe, in Texas. I think probably he'll win very substantially. And I think he'll go on to defeat a very defective candidate, a candidate that believes in 6 genders, and he takes hits at Jesus Christ. He's a vegan in Texas, and you can't get elected as a vegan in Texas.
Republican Ken Paxton currently leads incumbent Senator John Cornyn in the polls, but Cornyn is insisting that he's the better option to defeat Democrat nominee James Tallarico.
There's going to be a veritable tsunami of Democrats.
This is what I mean when I say it's Trump party, right? There's no chance that John is going to win. Ken is going to win. He's going to win by a large margin. There's no chance John winning. And that is because Trump gave Ken the endorsement. And I've been saying this, right? A lot of Republicans that's in politics, the old ones been here for a while, they're not understanding that this isn't the old GOP. Listen, the Senate Republicans has been a problem for a while. Not all of them, but it's a certain margin that has been keeping Trump from, pushing his agenda. Trump has won the presidency of the United States. Not only did he win, he won with the popular vote, which is very important because it's majority of, he got majority of the vote. So there's no excuse about electoral college. He was by far the, more popular candidate in that election, and he won, right? So why is it a problem, in the Senate for Republicans to push forward Trump's bills? And it's consistently happening. They've done this for a while. They've done it in Trump's first administration. They're doing it now, and they think that they're doing the right thing. These RINO mentality, and it doesn't work.
Simply and purely shocking. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about his voters. Any decent person that gets booed by their voters, any decent person that all of a sudden gets rebuked by the very people that gave them political power would stop and say, maybe I'm heading in the wrong direction. And they'd back off. Instead, John Cornyn gets in front of the entire Texas Republican convention and gets booed. And then he goes back to D.C. and says, I'm going to show those people. I'm going to show the deplorables. I'm in charge, not you. I'm the senator, not you. I'm in charge. I have never, in my 10 years of doing this, seen such an intentional, brazen, and defiant mode of action as what I have just seen from John Cornyn. I'm not saying it's the worst bill I've ever seen. That's not true. I'm not saying that it's the worst vote I've ever seen. That's not the point. The point I'm making is I have never seen in my 10 years of doing this someone so openly rebuked by their voters and then so quickly turning 180 degrees around and saying, I don't care. I've never seen it. Usually, when you show up to a town hall and you confront them, they say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to change my vote. Cornyn doesn't like you. And he jokes about it, actually. Cornyn hates you. He knows he'll still get money from his corporate donors. He knows that. Instead of being allied with his voters and be like, maybe there's something I could learn here, he pokes him in the eye and says, no, 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 no. I'm the senator. You're the serf. You're not a citizen. I'm in charge.
The Republican Party doesn't reflect the old values. They reflect the values that Trump putting forth, the MAGA value, the America First value, the MAGA values. That's what the new GOP is. It's not the old RINO mentality. It's not the party of the Bushes. And, you know, the American people have rejected that time and time again. So, you know, we're tired of these Senate Republicans, not only Senate Republicans, we're tired of a lot of these establishment Republicans consistently going against the agenda that Trump is trying to put forth and thinking that it's the will of the people. It's not. We don't want that. We want you to do, you know, to allow Trump to do what he's trying to do. That's what we voted for. And yet you have these RINO Republicans that's stopping Trump from doing his job, right? So John is out. I'm voting for Ken Paxton. Ken Paxton has been a strong MAGA supporter, strong Trump supporter for the longest. He has been amazing, right? Regardless of what the media might say, he is loved in Texas. It's a reason why he's won all his elections for, you know, Attorney General, etc. He's just good at his job. He good at what he does. He is an American first. He is a strong Trump supporter, and I mean, honestly, I think he's going to be a great senator, and he's what America needs right now. So I'll tell you right now, tomorrow, I'm going to get up early, you know, go to my special voting spot in every election, and I'm going to vote for Ken Paxton. He's going to be the next senator for the state of Texas, and it's not even a question. This is not a blue state. Don't listen to the mainstream media. It's not happening. Ken will be the next senator of Texas, and so yeah. This is out with the old RINO behavior and with the new MAGA movement, the MAGA party, the Trump party, because that's what it is. It's not the RINO party no more. This is not the party of Bushes. And if you are a sitting senator right now, your best bet, if you want to control, you know, your seat or stay in your position, you need to shift. You need to get on board with the new era of the the new era of the Republican Party. Because this is not the party of the, you know, the old, all right? It's not the party of the old, and American people don't want that. So, hey, do better. Yep. I'm going to vote Ken Paxton, next Texas Senator, man, for the United States. Go out there and vote. If you're from Texas, get out and vote. Get out there and vote.
Walk us through some of the players here. Dade Phelan, the Bush insiders. For our national audience that aren't as familiar with insider ball, Texas politics, walk us through some of the players and why Ken Paxton, in your estimation, did they target?
Well, you know, the Bush family has controlled Texas politics for a long time. Ken Paxton has been an anti-establishment guy. He has been fighting very hard against not only Obama administration, but also, of course, the Biden administration. And they thought they finally had him. And the interesting thing, and I thought what was most telling, was the so-called whistleblowers. And remember, to be a whistleblower, you have to have a good faith belief that a crime had occurred. Well, these so-called whistleblowers admitted under oath that they had no evidence of any crime. And on the day that they went to the FBI, George P. Bush reactivated his law license. And one thing people should know is that Ken Paxton ran against George P. Bush in the Republican primary and beat him 68-32. And we thought that had ended the George Bush or the Bush hierarchy in the state of Texas. Well, they came back again in a different way, and this time it was this impeachment. And so on the very day that these so-called whistleblowers went to the FBI without any evidence of any crime, but made all these allegations that led to this impeachment, George P. Bush reactivated his law license, hoping that he would be the next Attorney General. And here's the interesting part. All of these so-called whistleblowers, who are nothing more than disgruntled ex-staffers who made complaints against their boss with no evidence to the FBI, they were all represented by an individual named Johnny Sutton. Johnny Sutton, of course, was the appointed U.S. attorney by George Bush and was working for 3 years after we cross-examined these whistleblowers, working for free. So the whole thing stunk to high heaven. The whole thing was an orchestration of a House that was in line with the Bush family. Of course, the Democrats jumped in as well. And it was all exposed on national TV when the first witness was actually put under oath and actually cross-examined.